Today's episode of the Bill Simmons Podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network, brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. Buy and sell tickets in 2 taps on your phone. Everything guaranteed. NBA fans, $30 off your first SeatGeek purchase on NBA tickets. Use promo code NBAPalooza. It expires on November 1st. That's Wednesday. Download the SeatGeek app or go right to SeatGeek.com. We're also brought to you by the Ringer NFL Show, which has been fantastic. Tate and Lombardi. Tate, what'd you do on Saturday? 4 and 1 again?
Yeah, 4 and 1.
Lombardi they do these 15-minute previews on Saturdays, and every time Lombardi goes 80%.
Against the spread. They have the number in mind too?
He doesn't do the gambling part, but
he Bermans it.
Yeah. And he's
Good
just
enough.
like, yeah, this is a bad matchup. These guys are banged up. I
Right.
like this. I don't like the way that, and he just lays it out.
Nice.
So Lombardi and Tate are Saturday, Wednesday,
And Sunday night, right?
and what is it? Sunday night,
Wednesday.
Saturday morning, Wednesday.
morning.
Yeah.
You have something to do
Clark
with
and Mays.
this network, right?
Yeah, I do. I can't remember. I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Ringer NFL Show. And then Against All Odds, your podcast.
Yeah.
How did Trifecta do this week?
I went with Harry's pick, and he had Wake Forest over Louisville.
Oh,
Upset, and
nice.
Big winner. Easy, right, Tate?
Excellent.
Yeah. So, looking good.
Okay. Don't forget about theringer.com. That's where you can find my column every Friday. I actually did pretty well in the picks this week. You did not do as well on your
didn't do
Friday
well.
videos.
I'll tell you, well, do you want to, we have to
I
do an
guess
intro?
Let's
How do
bring
we
in
do
Pro
this?
Gen, then we'll talk
Do
about
it.
Here we go, day before Halloween. Great conundrum right now for the LA parents who might have tickets for this Dodger game.
Oh, yeah.
Do you do Halloween with your kids, or do you go to the do or die game 6?
Do you go to the, or even what? Yeah, it's tough because you're going to miss.
Tough. Or
it starts at 5:20 out here.
if you have a kid under 9 and you don't spend Halloween with the kid, it's the biggest affront you can do other than not be there on Christmas Day.
It's bad.
I would say.
You'll get
Those are the
ambushed.
2 days you have to be with your kids.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
I don't know what you do.
I think you have to watch a game.
I think you have to watch the game. Yeah, the kids will understand.
Go to the game.
We're starting with baseball for the first time. I can't even remember the last time we started with baseball on the Monday pod.
Well, the game ended like 40 seconds ago, so it's fresh in our minds.
Do you think they should have had a rule that, like they do in slow pitch softball, where you can only have 4 home runs in the game? You have
Right.
to choose when you have the 4.
Right, you bat around. Yeah, you have to sit after that.
Oh, you've hit your 5th homer. That's not eligible. It's only a double.
It was getting bad. Look, I know everyone loved it and everything, but I thought Game 2 was one of the best World Series games I've ever seen. It was like 1-1 going into the 9th, and then the bombs were unleashed.
Perfect game in play for like 5 innings. Yeah.
Right, and it's just like, and this is like, it's good because it was close. I mean, if it was 17-11, you'd be like, oh, this is garbage. Let's get rid of it. Like both these teams didn't get here because of because no one can get a freaking out, you know? So I don't know. I don't love that part of it.
Remember who'd the Phillies play in '93? The Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, yeah.
There was a crazy Philly Blue Jays game that year that was a little like this, right? Wasn't it like 16-13, something like that? And it just felt silly after a while.
Right.
This one felt silly, but at the same time, I was completely captivated.
It was close, yeah.
And
no one was out of it.
You rarely see the World Series game where the team's home, they're up 3 in the 9th with nobody out, and you just feel like, I don't know if they're going to get these 3 outs. It felt like the 3 runs are more realistic than the 3 outs.
The Dodgers were plus 185 to score 1 run in the 9th. Like that, it's like that's a given. How are they not going to do that? Of course, I didn't take it, but yeah, it's interesting.
They do these I was saying on Twitter these win expectancy things. Because we had to create a stat to describe that a game was exciting.
Right.
It's one of my pet peeves.
You don't like
it's
it?
a cute stat. It's like, I know the game's exciting. I don't need advanced metrics to tell me that this was an amazing game.
Yeah.
But listen. I think you have to manage in the playoffs differently than you manage in the regular season.
Well, I think they
Roberts
do.
Roberts is managing some of the stuff he's doing. Like I don't know. I know Kershaw didn't pitch well yesterday. I know he'd have like 4 swinging misses and all that stuff, but he had 94 pitches. I just wouldn't have taken him out. I just want to ride or die with Kershaw, at least for 5 innings.
Let him get through that one more out.
Yeah. He's not only the best pitcher on my team, he's one of the best 5 pitchers of the last 35 years.
Maybe
kind of want to have him work it
Yeah.
out. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that. I did not like the Rich Hill in game 2. I thought that was just weird. I thought he got hurt when I was at game 2. Why are they taking him out? Try to get. I don't understand it. I think this stuff's too cute sometimes. And he's, now the Dodgers are in this position where what reliever do you trust at this point? They have Kenley, who is the most lights out closer, probably in either league, and now it feels like he can get hit.
And for the Astros, Giles is just using up a roster spot.
Giles
like what inning do you have to get to pitch that guy? 15th inning?
You almost have to go backwards. I trust Davinsky maybe like 20%.
Right.
Peacock definitely.
He was solid.
Who do you trust on the Dodgers?
I don't know. I mean, Morrow's out of there. Singrani possibly.
They ruined Morrow. It's like you have all these advanced metrics. You bring in Morrow 3 games in a row.
And it's like, this is what happens. You check them off one by one. Now everyone's been exposed. They're all damaged goods, all these pitchers. So it's a crapshoot game 6 unless Verlander throws like Verlander. And what is the line on that game anyway?
We were talking... God, how many times did we talk about betting this series and ended up never betting
We didn't do it, yeah.
We were talking about a sweep before game 2.
Minus 112 Verlander is. Yeah, and then we wanted Dodgers last night, and I said, just for the series, you said, what could we put it with? I said, maybe Golden State just to beat Detroit, just to shave
just
off a few dollars.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. I don't trust Golden State. I'm like, oh, come on. They're an 18-point favorite. They're going to win.
Yeah.
Basketball's a mess.
I do not trust the Warriors in any game.
I think you're right to not trust them. That was ridiculous.
Really, there's no team to trust in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Cleveland is a fucking dumpster fire. Yeah. Like the Cleveland thing, it's not like, oh, they're so start, they got to get into it. It's like they're really bad defensively. And defense. Anybody can put up 115 points in them. And they have all these guys on the team that you just think about. You go through each guy and you're like, is this the right situation for this guy? And it's like, Derrick Rose, no. Dwayne Wade, no. Tristan Thompson, no. Yeah. Kevin Love, no. You just go through and Jay Crowder, definitely not.
It used to be a big deal when a 16-point favorite would lose, right? It happened like twice a year, twice. Now it's probably 4 times in the last week and a half.
The middle class in the NBA is better, which I think is throwing it off. I don't think it's not. Everyone's like, oh, the league's so top heavy. It's not as top heavy. There's these weird teams now like Orlando and Charlotte and Detroit, all these teams that were in the middle of the pack, and they could beat anybody in any given game. But with the baseball, though, Verlander, he at least has it in him to just be amazing in game 6 and just basically say, get on my back. I got this.
Right.
I could see him doing that.
I have a few dollars on Altuve and Turner, who's not going to win MVP. But who's the MVP now? Is it Springer?
Like 14
Altuve?
Candidates. How do you even pick?
Whoever
Springer's been kind of. Everyone knew Altuve was good, but Springer, unless you're an American League person, you wouldn't totally know he was great. Because he's not just good with the bat, but defensively he's been awesome too.
He's an all-star though, right? Yeah, but
but I mean, I don't think people think when they're talking about like the best players in baseball, you don't hear his name.
But can Verlander win MVP if he lights out? Like he didn't. I guess he had a good game. I'm trying to think when they took him out.
It's got to be a hitter.
It's got to be a hitter. There's too many runs. Yeah.
Correa. I don't know who has the best. Tate, who has the best stats on the Astros in the World Series?
Well, I think it's Altuve and Correa, but Springer.
But Altuve was bad for the first couple of games.
Everybody.
Springer's been pretty amazing.
I'm not going to give it to the racist first baseman.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Tough suspension. How about just suspend him for game 4?
Yeah. Well,
imagine if the NBA had done that with Draymond Green.
No,
in the 2016 finals, we'll suspend you next year.
A suspension to be named later. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
We don't want to deal with it now. We'll come back when no one remembers it.
How about this? You do like the most obvious, terrible Asian racial slur.
Yeah.
In the dugout when cameras are on you, you should get suspended for a game.
Right.
It's just that's it.
And he played in Japan, right? So it wasn't his thing. It wasn't the most obvious, terrible racist slur you could do. It's a messed up world we live in.
I don't know. I'm not usually an overreactive outrage culture guy, but it's like they just spend it for a game.
Yeah, one game with a.
They're fine. They have 24 other players. They'll be fine.
What are we
doing with the World Series?
I don't know. It's a stay away now, I think.
Okay.
But we're not going to trick or treat. We're going to watch.
Do you want to know what my kids are going for
Let's hear
Halloween,
it.
or should I save it for parents?
You
corner?
could say whatever. I don't know.
Nah, I'll save it for parents. Corner. Okay. Week 8 is almost in the books. You and I have a tease tonight. The second half of a tease. We tease Pittsburgh.
We got the 3.5
against Detroit. Snuck that one out. I didn't feel great about it.
Yeah.
Detroit was inside the 8-yard line twice. It got 0 points somehow. And Pittsburgh won by 5. It also got a 97-yard touchdown. And then today we have KC. We did a 6.5 point tease down to 1.
Right.
And around 4 o'clock today, I'm going to text you and say, let's hedge.
Yeah.
Let's take Denver in the points. And you're going to say no.
Just doing that. Just text me now. I'll say no. I'll tell you no.
We didn't do this on Thursday night. We didn't hedge. KC's banged up on D.
Right.
Must-win game for Denver. I think we should hedge.
But for both, the Chiefs,
I think we should hedge.
The Chiefs are not going to want to drop 3 in a row.
The Chiefs are fine.
Okay. They're going to win this. And I'll tell you what, if the Chiefs win this, the AFC is finally making sense to me. You got New England, you have Pittsburgh, you have Kansas City, maybe a couple of feisty wild card teams, Buffalo somehow will be in there. But the NFC makes less sense.
If you look at Denver's schedule, they have to win this game.
It gets bad. They go to Philly after this, right? They go 3 and 5 going to Philly. You can almost cross them off.
At KC, at Philly, they would be 3 and 5. Then they play the Pats next week.
And that's off your bye, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're also at Oakland, at Miami, and at Washington. And they have a home game against KC. And I think 10 and 6 has to get the wild card spots.
Yeah,
there's no 9 and 7 wild card team in the AFC. The NFC might have one, but not the AFC.
You read through those, I feel like they have 8 losses there, Denver.
Yeah, I think this is a must-win game, which is why I think we should hedge.
All right, well, I don't think so.
I think we should hedge. Let's hedge.
We never screw this up.
Let's take. You're the tiebreaker. Do we hedge?
I said no.
Like Denver.
No, I said don't hedge.
Can I throw something else in here? I don't know if this will sway you. So Bovada has a prop every week. So like last week, 8 teams didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Yeah.
So this week they made a prop. 3.5 teams will not score an offensive touchdown. Do you go over or under? Without even thinking about it.
I'll go under.
I went under, right? Thursday night, boom. Thank you, Dolphins, right off the bat. 0.
You won.
There's 1. Tampa Bay at home. I predicted it. I said to Tate, I'm like, that's going to be a screwy game. Watch one of these teams throw a goose egg up. Tampa's 2.
San Francisco?
The Niners. Wait, was the Niners? No, the Niners snuck a touchdown in. The Bears snuck a touchdown in. Wait, who was the third? Oh, third was last night. The Lions. Twice.
They never scored a touchdown?
Didn't score a touchdown. Twice inside the 8. So now I need Denver, Kansas City too, but I need both of these teams to score a touchdown.
They had 15 points. There was 5 field goals?
All field goals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Somehow watched that game and didn't totally realize that. I was toggling.
Yeah. He threw to the end zone 75 times. Didn't get there. But so I need these teams to score.
Bluehost, the top-rated website provider powering over 2 million websites for bloggers or small business owners. Bluehost is everything you need to build, host, and manage the personal or small business website you have always wanted. Come on, you've always wanted the website.
Oh, yeah.
Design your website your way without being limited by templates. Templates. Simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for even the most advanced users. Fully customized templates. Third-party app support, a 99.9% uptime guarantee, and maximum security, including malware monitoring and protection, and automatic secure WordPress installs, not to mention Bluehost 24/7 tech support, online resources, and expert services. No wonder it's been the top recommended WordPress host on WordPress.org since 2005. Bluehost makes hosting your website stress-free so you can get back to what matters most, hedging terrible teases. And now, our listeners save 50% when you sign up at bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. Bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. I just remembered I'm really excited for my Parent Corner. You raised the bar on Parent Corner last week.
Yeah, it was stupid.
For people who don't listen to this entire podcast, we do Parent Corner at the end of the podcast, and everybody who makes it to that part, it's their favorite part.
Really? Yeah.
And was there blowback for Parent Corner for you this week?
No, it's
your wife doesn't know.
No, in fact, it was a little disappointing, like to see how few people listen to me.
I think No, I don't think that's what it is. I think people are just so conditioned now,
Right.
to every kind of potential story that it just bounces off.
It's
people.
fine. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, good.
That story, even though I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that's like Thursday for Howard Stern.
Right, it's true. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Well,
I loved it. Game of the year yesterday. Seattle, Houston.
I was wrong
Was
about.
there a better game this year?
I was wrong about almost everything, but last week when you picked the best game, you went Washington, Dallas.
You did.
I said, watch out for Houston, Seattle. No
Great
way.
call.
No way. I thought it would be like that. But
Great call.
that was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I wrote on Friday, I wrote about 10 ways to make the NFL a little more fun. And one of the things was how, for some reason, we don't argue about football anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of bitch about it, or we try to figure out. We're always like, what the hell's going on? Or this Goodell, the owners.
Right.
This week you have Ward and Bob McNair to compare players to inmates. We don't argue about this stuff enough. And one of the arguments I had in there was, Watson, Wentz, and Dak. Pretty nice. This is a nice rookie class. And who do you like? And I think you would have said Wentz going into this weekend, but I thought Watson was magical yesterday.
Yeah.
Really was. Like we hear about the if factor every once in a while, and he definitely has it. Like he's just was not afraid. I think the Seahawks, the Sherman quotes in Peter King's piece today, but just raving about him. I think it's really, I don't think Wentz would generate that from the Seattle defense.
Went a little overboard. He still threw 3 interceptions for him to say that was the best performance anyone's put up against us. Who said that?
Sherman.
Sherman said that. But phenomenal. And like you said, like Prescott.
Well, he had 2 interceptions. The third one was a garbage time one.
But Prescott, obviously, second-year player. He's the Watson. He's the most exciting player since who? Like, who would you say?
I mean, Rodgers doesn't get credit for being exciting, but I think Rodgers.
Oh, all the way back then. Wow.
No, what?
What would you say? I mean, I was going to say Y.A. Tittle. No, I was going to say, you don't say RG3 or Russell Hustle and Bustle. Like,
RG3 was never that exciting.
So
he was fun, but he wasn't like this guy.
All right, I'll buy it. I'm with you.
The thing with this guy is he can throw it deep.
Yeah.
He's accurate, but then he also has the escapability. So it's almost like he's got all different pieces of all quarterbacks that I love.
Yes.
I think he's more talented than Wilson is. And I think Wilson's amazing.
Which is why on 3rd and 3, this is all on you, Coach O'Brien.
He's terrible. He's a terrible coach.
Pass option. He's got to be
awful.
3rd and 3, not Lamar Miller up the middle.
How about this? He watched these guys in July and August and started Tom Savage. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
People have made that point, but it's like, seriously, let's look at this. This guy's like a prodigy.
Exactly.
And he came out of college. Everybody knew he was getting college. I'm amazed by this. I know nothing about college football. I barely follow it. I watched one Watson game. I was like, is he the number 1 pick? He's the number 1 pick, right? No, he's actually, they don't know.
Savage.
It's like, what?
All the players wanted to be Watson, but Savage. Savage couldn't pitch the 13th inning for the Astros right now.
Houston's embarrassing. They're 3-4. Here's who they've played. Home for Jacksonville, at Cincinnati, at New England, home for Tennessee, home for KC, home for Cleveland, at Seattle. 3-4 is like the worst case scenario for those first 7 games. Steal one of them. They didn't steal anything.
How disappointing is it going to be if they don't win that division?
So here's who they have left. Home for Indy, so now they're 4-4. At the Rams.
Good game.
That's a game of the week. So let's give them a loss for that. So they're 4-5. Home for Zona. At Baltimore, let's give them a win. They should beat Baltimore. 6-5. At Tennessee, home for San Francisco. At Jacksonville, I think they go 2-1. So now they're at 6 losses. Home for Pittsburgh, week 16. At Indy, so they're going to be 10-6 or 9-7.
I think they're 8-7 going into that last game. I don't know.
So you're crossing them off.
No. I think all those teams will be around that.
Well, then you look at Jacksonville, 4-3.
Who knows with this Jacksonville team? You can't pick
home for Cincy and the Chargers. At Cleveland and Arizona.
At both of
home
those?
For Indy. Home for Seattle and Houston. At San Francisco. At Tennessee. So they play.
It seems weaker. Yeah.
They play 4 of the 5 worst teams in the league.
Right.
Down the stretch, and they're already 4-3. So
did you say they have San Fran, Indy, and Cleveland still left?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Arizona.
How did they manage that?
Because they had the worst schedule last year. So if they beat the 4 of the worst 5 teams in the league, they're 8-3, and they just have to win 2 more games.
Yeah. Well, they could lose to the Bengals this week. So
See, I think we should flip this around. Let's root for Jacksonville to make the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get to bet against them.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
They'd be a 3 seed or a 4 seed, right?
Yeah,
They'd have a home game. People be like, oh, I don't know. Bortles just has to manage the game.
Well, you should root for Jacksonville because
Why?
if Texans make the playoffs, yes, it's more interesting, but they're obviously a threat to your Patriots. I mean, they played you tough already.
Who?
The Texans. You don't want the Texans to win that division. You'd much rather have the Jaguars come to Foxborough.
You act like my team's going to win the Super Bowl.
You're getting a bye.
Have you seen my team?
You're getting a bye. You know you are.
Melvin Gordon, who wasn't even going to play because he had 7 injuries. He ran for an 87-yard touchdown.
Right, I know.
We stink. Our team stinks.
You're right. You're right where you need to be, I think.
This is the worst good team we've had since 09.
You're going to make some stupid trade. You can get T.Y. Hilton. You're going to have 75 receivers running around. You're going to be fine.
So the guy I want, and this would fit into the Belichick profile. Can you guess?
Vladimir Putin.
Tate?
Sue.
Oh, Sue. I didn't think of Sue.
Same thing.
That's who I want.
Jarvis Landry.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Possession receiver.
Belichick's always liked him. He loves nothing more than stealing dudes from our division.
Yeah.
The problem with this team is they don't have Edelman. I knew Edelman was a disaster, and I had no idea it was going to be this bad. They're just not the same team on, short yardage, red zone, third down, all that stuff. It's just, Brady's had 2 years and 15 years where he's never had the one slot guy that he totally trusts. He just doesn't have him.
And they can't be Burkhead as it coming out of the back.
No, but Burkhead was good. I picked him up in fantasy a week ago, and I feel good about it because I think he's going to be the guy eventually. Yeah, he's good.
Fine. Meanwhile,
he's like a rich man's Christian McCaffrey.
You've given up 7 to the Falcons and 13 to the Raiders, the Chargers. What do you care? That's all that matters. Defense is coming together.
6-2. I don't know how he did it. I really don't. I don't know how we did it.
I think that's about right because you could have beaten the Chiefs.
There's some good
Could have beaten
over-unders.
the Panthers. It was close.
Some good over-unders.
Go ahead.
New England had 12.5 wins was the over-under.
Yeah.
They're 6-2. Do they get there?
Oh, well, listen to you.
Three more wins.
Just gave up on the team a minute ago.
3 more wins.
Now
I'm
you
going to
think
say they don't get there.
They're going to get 13. 3 more wins.
I mean, 3 more losses.
Oh, I see.
I don't think they get there. Or 2 more losses.
We'll see. They have the bye. Like I said.
At Denver, at Oakland, Miami, at Buffalo, at Miami.
Yeah, it's
at Pittsburgh, home for Buffalo, home for the Jets. They split with the Bills, I think.
But you have Miami twice. You can't lose those games. And the Jets.
Is Miami terrible? They have 4 wins. Are we crossing them off?
I don't know.
They got
crossed
shut
them off
out
my
by the
TV
Ravens.
Thursday. It was awful.
Buffalo's over-under was 6.5. They're already 5-3.
Oh, don't I know it?
They're already 5-3. Cleveland's over-under was 4.5.
Oh, that's a win. Yeah.
Every year we could do that, and we just were like, "Oh no, yeah, maybe Cleveland." Like we're so stupid.
Let me ask you this:
That's the lock of the year
we're
every year. Is
stupid for many
Cleveland under.
reasons. How about this? We still have a little life as of last week, and I guess it went down a little. You could have the Niners or the Browns 10-1 to go winless. I think it's there's
You
a
get
shot.
either of them?
No, I mean it's separate bets, but
No. Jacksonville's over/under was 6.5. They're 4-3. Oakland was 9.5.
yeah, I know.
That's
I
like
went over
a
there.
cross-off.
I went over there too.
They're 3-3.
So bad.
Eagles 8.5. They're
not
7-1.
They're not 3-3. But what's Oakland? What'd you say they were? 3-5. Yeah.
3-5. Sorry. The Eagles were 8.5. They're 7-1. That's
an
like
over.
cross that one in. The Giants were 8.5. 1-6. I was surprised by this. Minnesota was 8.5. And I was more surprised that they're 6-2. How the F is Minnesota 6-2? Case Keenum.
Is it? If
Latavius Murray.
we haven't figured this out, but if Seattle doesn't get their shit together, and I think they're starting to, you're looking at Minnesota Philly NFC Championship. Not very sexy.
Case Keenum is not making the NFC Championship. Stop it.
Who's in there?
Now, if you look at Minnesota's schedule, it's the reckoning is coming.
Yeah.
They have bye week next week. Then they go at Washington, home for the Rams, at Detroit on Thursday, Thanksgiving. That's a tough one.
Those are tough.
At Atlanta, at Carolina, Cincinnati, at Green Bay on a Sunday night, home for Chicago.
So they won't get the bye, but they'll win that division.
No, they'll lose 4 more times.
Yeah.
The Packers over/under 10.5. They're 4-3. cross off.
Sure.
Right? Saints, 8.5. They're 5-2.
Yeah, they pissed me off yesterday, but they're good.
Tampa Bay might have been the worst over-under of all of these. 8.5. They're 2-5. And then the Rams, one more win, they make their over-under.
Is that what it is?
5.5. They're 5-2.
Wow.
And then
Good for them.
Yeah, all right.
Good for them. Yeah, Tampa, I think that whoever Hard Knocks team, the over-under, for some reason, there's 3/4 of a win added to the total for no reason.
Have you heard about Sonos One?
Oh, tell me. I think I did.
It blends great sound with Amazon Alexa for hands-free control of your music and more. Do you have Amazon Alexa?
I don't have Amazon, no.
Is
it good?
The Simmons family likes Sonos and Amazon Alexa,
right.
so this is great. Hands-free control of your music and more. Use your voice to play songs while you cook. Tell Alexa to crank the volume up while you're in the shower. Tell Alexa you want to hedge on the Chiefs game. Alexa say, no, don't do that. We don't hedge in this house. Play songs, turn on lights, adjust the temperature, check news and traffic, manage smart devices, and more with helpful Amazon Alexa skills, all using a single Sonos speaker. Sonos One backed by a pair of Class D amplifiers and custom-built drivers, continually updating new features, services, and skills. It's great. For the first time ever, Sonos offering listeners of the BS Podcast 10% off one order of $2,500 or less for any product on Sonos.com. Offers available for a limited time only. Cannot be combined with other discounts or promotions. Just use the promo code Simmons10, Simmons10 at Sonos.com to receive this exclusive offer. See for yourself. Go to Sonos.com to learn more. That is Sonos.com. Code Simmons10.
Simmons
Favorites.
10, not 33 anymore.
Simmons
huh?
10.
Oh,
It should
10.
be all my codes should be Simmons
Yeah.
33.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a strong words for Sonos. No, whatever they want the code to be, that's great. But it should be 33. Week 8 favorites, 11-1 straight up.
Yeah.
7-5 against the spread. We had 4 teams
So this is what happens.
win but not cover, including your Saints that you backed, and they didn't cover by a point. The Pats, no, they did cover. They did cover.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The
Favorite that won that didn't.
the Seahawks won but didn't cover.
Right.
And then there was 2 other ones. Anyway, you have to believe me. But yeah, so remember when we were in that underdog crisis?
Atlanta won, didn't cover, and who
By
else
half
is it?
point.
Right, and
There's one more too.
Cincinnati won, didn't cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the favorites were 18 games under 500 2 weeks ago.
Right. 2
Every
weeks
time
ago.
this happens, we should look at each other and go, "Oh, that'll even out.
It's gonna
That'll
come
regress
around."
back to the mean." No, we don't do that.
But we got so beat up because Atlanta lost to Miami and Denver lost to the Giants, and we're like, "That's it.
That's it.
No more
Weird
money
season.
line
We're done.
favorites. That's
We're
it.
out.
We have to take shitty teams.
Can't do it
underdogs.
anymore.
We have to do it. Yeah.
bye weeks this week: Pats, Steelers, Chargers, Browns, Bears, Vikings.
I don't like the 16 buys, but it's 2 weeks in a
Well,
row for
especially
16
you
buys.
lose 2 of the most fun teams in the
Yeah.
AFC to watch. So
Definitely.
needless to say, it's
The
a
Brown,
shit
you're
show
talking about
this
the
weekend.
Browns and the Chargers.
The Browns.
The Brown. Can we dump on the Browns enough? Is it possible? I mean, if Wentz and Watson go 1-2 or 1-3 or 1-2-3 in the MVP voting, and these are just 2 more guys the Browns passed on, including Dak
And
Prescott
your dude
last
Prescott.
year.
They
and
passed
have
on him 8
Kaiser
times.
and Kessler. Like,
Yeah, the funniest thing is
when do
they
you take this-
drafted quarterbacks both years
Yes.
with high picks.
When do you take this team away from them? The
Right.
ownership.
I had in my mailbag this week, somebody suggested the calling them the Zombie Browns. And
I love
like
that.
it. I think it's the right idea, and we should call them the Zombie
Zombies
Browns.
have a little too much life, I think. I think that's a little bit of an insult.
There's just
to the
as much
zombies.
defecation.
Yeah.
The thing with Kaiser, though, he's not accurate.
Right. That is the thing.
I didn't see him in college, but I'm assuming in college when he went back to pass, occasionally the ball just bounced to the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have 4+ decades of football watching experience. That's usually a bad sign for quarterbacks when they're not accurate.
I'll say this a tiny bit in his defense.
Okay.
Watson is entering the league with no better situation for a quarterback. I think Fuller having that burner just outruns everybody.
Well, why
and
say- I mean,
Hopkins is tremendous.
has been
with any
rejuvenated.
quarterback. Fantastic. That's great. Lamar Miller's a nice
I would
back.
say, though, not a great offensive line, though.
No, that's
Dwayne
true.
Brown holding out hasn't been great for
No,
him.
right. But compared to what Kaiser's been offered, it's a nice deal. That said, how do you just keep passing on these legendary players?
Well, so I didn't realize till I was working on the little riff I did about it in the column, but like the Wentz trade's defensible. I don't agree with it, but you know they got a huge haul for it, and obviously they just didn't like him, and I understand that.
Right.
The Watson thing's indefensible because they'd already taken Myles Garrett. They had the 12th pick.
Yeah.
And they could have just taken Watson, and instead they moved back 13 spots, picked up Houston's first rounder next year. It's like, just fucking take Watson.
Yeah.
And Lombardi, who was big on this last spring, and his biggest thing, other than that he just liked Watson, was that he thought he could change the culture. And when you have no culture, when you're the zombie Browns, and you have a guy like that, you'd be like, wow, we can maybe build around this guy. This is the kind of character we want to lead our team and take us to the promised land.
Yeah.
Indefensible. Really crazy.
Make a smart move just once, Browns. Just do something.
Here's another thing that's crazy. Who leads the world in fantasy football points right now?
The whole world?
The whole world. What NFL player leads the world in fantasy football points?
I mean, I think it was like Wentz last week. Is it not Wentz anymore? Is it Watson?
What do you think, Tate?
Is it just Watson?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Watson.
It's gotta be Watson.
It's still Wentz. 191 points.
Talk me out of it.
Tom Brady and Deshaun Watson with 190.
Right.
Deshaun Watson did not start in week 1 and was available in our fantasy league for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
They
they
got
have seven
picked up before week 3.
They have 7 games. The Eagles have played 8. And Watson didn't play the first.
The next two are Wilson and Alex Smith, who I think Wilson went for like $2 in our league.
Right.
Alex Smith, I don't think got drafted. Right?
No.
Did Wentz get drafted or did Auction drafted? I'm going to say Wentz didn't get
did
picked
not
either.
get picked. No.
So you have 3 of the 5 fantasy leaders.
Yeah.
We were at Happy Endings. What's it called now?
For 4 hours.
What's that place called now?
I can't remember.
We were there for
They
4
probably
hours.
Named it this week.
Everybody drafted 18 players. We had an auction. Every player in the league was taken,
Yeah.
and not 3 of the guys who were
Right.
the top 5.
Right.
It's just, why do we do this?
We don't. I think
Vote me out. I'm gonna insult whoever wins
Listen,
the title. I'm
you
gonna make
had
it so
a
that
chance. You could have lost to Connect 4.
Well, I
and
got
you would've-
competitive.
that
I'm
was
not
it.
going to lose to
That
Connect
was
4.
it.
All right, so we have Thursday night. Jets.
You're going to beat me this week. I only
Okay.
picked one exactly right.
Jets hosting the Bills.
Yeah.
Normally, I would have said Bills by 3.5. The Thursday night thing screws me. I get scared. I docked at a point. I had the Bills by 2.5.
Shouldn't have gotten scared. I said 3. It is 3.5.
Oh, okay.
Color Rush game, right? This is the one where everybody complained where they couldn't see if they were blind, but they were happy they couldn't anyway.
Buffalo's next 5 at the Jets in this game, home for New Orleans, at the Chargers, at the Chiefs, home for New England. That 5-2. This feels very Buffalo-y. Buffalo has had fast starts before.
Yeah.
And it's like, Buffalo, and then it falls apart. I would worry about it starting to fall apart starting this
I
week.
tweeted yesterday but when they play defense at home, it really feels like they have 15 guys on the field, just swarming and just any ball that
Great
deflects,
home crowds.
They're grabbing that. The
Yeah.
crowd,
I'd
McCoy's
like to-
running downhill like Barry Sanders. You know,
Oh,
it's just crazy.
I'd like to go to a Buffalo home game.
I've been to one because
Yeah?
I went to college. Right
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah.
there. Yeah. It's
I
great.
really want. I got to knock that off.
Lots
at
of
some point.
fun. Thurman
There's
Thomas.
no
years.
really. I've been to Seattle. I've been to Denver. I've been to Lambeau. What else is what? There's really not a lot of great NFL football experiences.
yeah,
I would say
you're
the
gonna
Bills
get-
is
you're
the
gonna
last
get a
one.
zillion
Been
letters
to
now.
Dallas.
You're gonna get a zillion.
What's
letters.
left?
Cleveland. You ever been to a
I guess
Browns game?
Cleveland. Go to a zombie game. Can they
Sit in
start
the-
dressing up like
sit in
zombies
the
in
dog pound?
They should dress up like zombies in the dog pound,
Oh,
like
man.
zombie dogs.
Uh,
Sunday marquee. I thought this was a pretty easy call. Dallas Cowboys hosting the Chiefs of Kansas City. Is this a Romo game?
Yes, I think it is. I think this is his first Dallas game.
Oh wow,
Pretty sure.
a lot of like snide Dak remarks.
No, come on.
Nothing
He's above that.
Not gonna
He's
take
fine.
one. I
He's
don't
fine.
know. I would have made that read, Jim.
Yeah.
Dallas, tough stretch here. Home for KC at Atlanta.
This is where it gets bad.
Home for Philly. Home for the Chargers. The next 4.
You did say beat a good team last week. You're like, beat a good team. It's like, I think they did.
Who?
The Redskins. they went into Washington and won.
That's horrible.
What are you talking about?
They have like 40 injuries.
I said if they
That
went
team
to
is not a good
Washington,
team.
if they went to Washington
That
and
is
won,
not a good team.
That's a nice win.
That
In
is
the
not a
rain.
good team. They had no offensive
That's fine.
linemen. That team stinks.
All right.
They have no receivers and no linemen.
The lineman thing was bad.
I had the
lineman
Chiefs.
thing was bad.
Chiefs. I was going to take Washington as one of my super contest picks, and Lombardi was like run from Washington. Their line's all banged up.
They had
Lombardi's
two guys
like
out.
one of the great
They
natural
lost another
resources.
two.
I had the Chiefs by 3
The Chiefs by 3. Wow.
in Dallas. Yeah, I don't think you have a good team.
Oh, all right. Well, you and Vegas disagree. I said Dallas by 3, and it's Dallas by 2.5.
I stand by
That's-
my.
you know,
I stand by my pick.
It's a silly thing because he
I
has
don't think
another.
your team should be favored
Well, he has
over
another
KC.
appeal. He has another appeal, Ezekiel Elliott, this week. So who even knows what's going to go on? He needs to survive that. Otherwise, yeah, Casey's
Good
favored.
guy.
What do you think Casey on a short week going to Dallas? Dallas needs it more. You don't think? You think Casey should
I
be
think
favored?
the Chiefs are better.
All right. Okay. See what happens.
The toilet bowl. We don't have poop factor this week. We just have a toilet bowl.
Okay. This is one game.
Just one game.
Wait. Let me zone in. Let me zone in.
It's an easy one.
Let me
It's
zone in.
only one real option. Plus the Browns are in a bye.
Oh,
this
go
week.
ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
The 49ers at home
Right.
taking on Drew Stanton in the Arizona Cardinals. Wow. I don't want to watch 1 minute of this game.
Well,
I don't even want to see this game on Red Zone. I think they should ban it on Red Zone.
Really?
Just get rid of it
Shouldn't be
completely.
allowed on?
It just we should just pretend it's happening.
Now here's the thing, though. A few
There's a
weeks
power
ago,
blackout. Yeah.
beginning of October, you loved this game. You loved it.
What do you mean?
You loved taking the points. You had the Niners. They were a double-digit underdog. You loved them.
I did.
And they
And covered.
They covered. They went
I
to
think
overtime.
they win. I think they win. I
They
think
lost
this is
in
their first
overtime.
win.
What do you think the line is?
I think the line is Cardinals by 2.5.
Yeah, you got that exactly. I said 4. I get what you're saying here, but I don't think a winless team going into Week 9 should be given less than a field goal.
I have a prediction because we're at the halfway mark, basically.
Yeah.
I think the Niners get 3 wins the rest of the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're home this week for the Cardinals. They're home next week for the Giants. Bye week. Home for Seattle. At Chicago. At Houston. Home for Tennessee. Home for Jacksonville. At the Rams. I think they win 3
I
of
think
those.
those last 5 you said were losses, but they would have to beat
'Cause
the
once-
Giants or Arizona, I think.
Once they win 1 or 2, then they know they're not going to get the number 1 pick. Cleveland locks in. And then at that point,
It's not a
it
good
doesn't
team.
matter if it's like 2, 3, 4, or 5.
It's not. They just don't score enough. But
We don't have pumpkin patch picking anymore as a category,
No.
Sal.
what do we have? Right.
It's called the red zone. These are games that 3 games that
You should
I'm not
only
going to
watch.
click on, but when I'm on the red zone, they might show a highlight. But
Okay.
that game.
All right.
First one, Tennessee home for the Ravens of Baltimore. I think the Ravens have they screwed the most amount of gamblers this year, or would you pick another team?
Well, I think this is they are such a stay away. You're a mental patient if you pick the Ravens and pick their
4
games.
against them, yeah.
4, even if you're in a pool and you have to pick one of them,
Right.
just take the 0, cross it off. Don't
We
even.
found
don't
that out
even-
last week.
Yeah, don't look
We thought
at
we
it.
were all cute with our game 2 Astros parlayed
Right.
with the Dolphins.
Oh, Dolphins plus 3.5 look good.
I hate the Ravens.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate
there's
their
no
guts.
line here. Don't even. Well, let's go.
Well, no
past this.
Flacco, right?
No, we don't know if it's Flacco, but there's no.
All right, the Giants are home for the Feel Good Rams. America's new team. 5-2. Chance to go 6-2. I have the Rams favored by 5.
Ooh,
I put it right in the Vegas zone.
we are gonna split this. You went 1.5 heavy. I went 1.5 light. 3.5 is the line. I said 2.
Okay. That's stupid.
Wow,
I'm going to pick the Rams. I'm telling you right now.
you love that Rams team.
I'm
You love
every
it.
week. Tell me when they stop covering.
But do you want a cold, rainy? I want a cold, rainy November day at the Meadowlands, right there, whatever they want to call it now. That's what I want to see. I
What
want to
was
see
up
the
with
Rams
Matt
win.
Ryan yesterday?
I don't know.
Does he have small hands?
I don't know. If you listen to
Tate,
Tate,
what was up with Matt Ryan yesterday?
Tate makes a
It
good
was
point.
embarrassing.
He played at
Yeah.
Boston College, shouldn't be fumbling these
They
snaps.
acted like
and
he never
everything.
played outside before. It was the strangest thing.
I think Matt Ryan has been really, really terrible this season. The
Yeah.
guy won the MVP last year. He
Right.
had 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl, and this year he looks like a schmuck.
I think there's a lot of sluggish. I think there's a when you're going to step up stars category, and I think Devonta Freeman is one of those guys.
Yeah.
I think Mike Evans, he doesn't look like he practices with Jameis at all. This is a beast. Should be shoving off defenders.
Remember when Mike Evans was one of the top 7 fantasy
Yeah.
expensive guys?
Right.
It was like this year, Mike Evans 50. He went for like $50 in our
My
league.
first round pick in my stupid Snake draft league. Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Who's Atlanta's backup quarterback? I think we need to know who it is because I think we should
never
see
gonna
him.
see him.
No,
Come on.
get Matt Ryan. Sit Matt Ryan. Teach him a lesson.
Wait, who is it? We're gonna kill.
Bench him
ourselves
for a
right now.
series.
We knew this. Who is this?
Is it Chris Chandler?
No,
is
they
he still
showed
there?
him on the.
It's Shab.
Oh yeah, it is.
Matt
Shab.
Schaub. Matt
Oh, you're
Schaub.
right. They have a lot of mats. Right. They have like 7 mats. on it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The third red zone game is the Jags at home for the Bengals, who somehow aren't a cross-off team yet. I have the Jags laying 3.5.
I said 3.5. Also, it's 4. Boy, they really wanted to be a cross off. One way to get yourself crossed off is to lose at home to the Colts. I was gonna say those poor Bengal fans. They saw the first 2 games they didn't score a touchdown, offensive touchdown, and they're
Yeah.
not gonna lose to the Colts, and they almost did. Almost pulled it off.
The Bengals fans, like I would rather be the Browns than be the Bengals almost.
Really?
At least with the Browns, you have an identity. You root for the biggest sad sack loser team of all time.
that's
The
great.
Bengals, you just lose, and nobody even throws you in the arguments of who the most tortured franchise is.
Yeah. Well, what is their identity? They have no
have no
running
identity.
game now. Like Mixon caught
Their
a nice
identity
pass,
is
but they're
Icky
not-
Woods, and they almost beat Joe Montana.
Right.
And then they didn't do anything for 25 years. Cross-off teams: Giants, Niners, Zona, Cleveland, Indy, Bears. Crossing them off, right?
I guess so. Their defense is better than I thought, but yeah,
They're not going to make the
making
playoffs.
Yeah, they're
Can we
in a nice.
cross off Oakland?
I think if no, not yet. Although
2 and 5?
I don't like anything I say. 3 and 5.
3-5?
Yeah,
Jets?
one more. Give me Thursday night.
You're not crossing off Tampa either?
Oh man, I want to do more than cross them off. Yeah.
Let's
No,
not.
not
I don't.
yet.
You know
Not
what?
yet.
I don't think we should cross off
Not
the
yet.
Bears. If my life depended on it, I wouldn't.
No.
So we still only have 5 cross-off teams after 8 weeks. That's got to be
These
a
teams
record.
are in an okay divisions to thrive. Not the Jets, but these other teams can make a
Oh,
comeback.
I have a couple more red zone games.
Good.
The Texans home for the Colts of Indianapolis. I have the Texans by 9. This game is, don't let me put this in a tease. Let's all settle down on the Texans because they gave up 38 points to a team that, as far as I could tell, has no running backs.
Yeah.
Does Seattle have one running back
No,
that
you're
you
right.
would?
No, it's a mess.
I don't even think. I think the Pats 4-string running back would be the best
I think
Seattle running back.
I think I made one good futures bet. Now is Eddie Lacy under 750 yards. I don't know if I'll get
that was
75.
genius.
Yeah, they're a mess. Talk about overreacting. I said 9.5. Vegas has it at 12.
Stay away.
12.
Stay away. Last one. You could have put this in the watchables. I just don't really like watching Denver. Let's put it in the watchables.
All right.
Eagles home for the Broncos. I guess that's a watchable game. I have the Eagles by 7.
You're gonna get it. I said 6. It's 7.5. Yeah, we always did the West team going east early is gonna lose. It never seemed to shake out. Yesterday it was perfect. Raiders go to Buffalo. Chargers, even though they could have kind of covered at the end, didn't go into New England. What do we do with this one? It seems easy, right? Denver on a short week.
I didn't like your Raiders pick.
No.
That was the first pick you've had that I just didn't like. Because I don't think that team's good, and I think they honestly could have had a 5-game losing
Right.
streak if that one play had happened.
But some teams get lucky when they don't. Like they probably should have lost to the Chiefs, but I thought, well, maybe this turns their
I just
season
think they're
around.
poorly coached.
The Bills gave up 700 passing yards to Jameis and Dalton in two weeks, two
know.
straight weeks. That's,
What do we make of Jameis? Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is he?
it really looks like they don't practice during the week. Like he's so far off on some of these throws.
What does Lombardi say about Jameis, Tate?
He just basically said he was the reason that Dirk Cutter's there. And
Yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah,
not a
yeah.
good coach for him.
Oh, I didn't see the coaches fired, but he's got to be up there.
Look at the coaches fired. I want to talk about Hotel
Pagano,
Tonight
Hugh
really
Jackson, Cutter's up there.
quick. Hotel Tonight, which I used this weekend. My daughter and I had a game in Palm Springs, so we went a day early. I tend to leave things at the last minute.
Yeah.
Hotel Tonight was great. You wait till the last minute. You just keep putting in Palm Springs into the Hotel Tonight thing, and the deals keep dropping, and then you grab one.
Right.
When it comes to booking a hotel, being last minute actually works in your favor as long as you've got the Hotel Tonight app. I was looking I'd never gone to Palm Springs before. Mm-hmm. Drove by the Morongo. It looked nice. You've been to the Morongo.
They have a couple of them there. Yeah. Morongo's nice.
I don't know if Morongo's on Hotel Tonight, but it looked really nice, though. It looked high tech.
Let's go.
You said Super Dave lives there?
Super Dave is 5 minutes away. He'll join us.
Is he still mourning his dead nephew who died of the prostitute or no?
How great is that?
Well, if you're the type who started planning your Halloween costume on November 1st of the last year and like to have things locked down ahead of time, you can actually book a room with Hotel Tonight up to 7 days in advance. In certain cities, you can even book up to 100 days in advance. With Hotel Tonight, you'll bag a sweet deal at a killer hotel. Whether you need a room for today, for Halloween, or beyond, you definitely want to download the Hotel Tonight app. It's really cool. Like, you just keep looking, you keep waiting, and the hotels, they have rooms left, and they'll just start cutting them.
It's the best. I'm not even kidding. I sit at home with the wife and family. I'm like,
you just look at rooms?
Well, we're driving 30 miles. It's actually cheaper to go stay here than put the lights on at the house here.
My daughter loves staying at a hotel more than like anything. Oh, yeah. And if I said to her, we're going to stay in a hotel and it was 10 minutes from our house, she'd be so excited.
Right.
Like we got there, we rented Kidnap with Halle Berry, which is terrible and great. It was really good.
Aren't there some weird moments in there for you? Father, daughter? No?
In Kidnap?
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I like all kidnapping movies.
Yeah.
It was good. I like staying in a hotel. Saints home for the Bucks. The Saints the schedule fairy just keeps showing up for the Saints.
Yeah, it's a good time.
They're just catching all these teams at the perfect time. Have they?
What is it? Why did they score only 20? Is the Bears defense that good? Like they were dying to lose to the Bears.
Well, I have Drew Brees in my fantasy league.
Yeah. And a decent
I'm at
stats.
the point where I might start insulting him on Twitter. I know that the football players hate when the fantasy people get upset, but it's like, you're the 19th best fantasy quarterback. You're Drew Brees. Like, when you're in the red zone, can you throw like a touchdown every once in a while? But please.
23 for 28, 299.
No touchdowns.
Right, but I'm sure that's a good game, isn't it? Like,
I guess. Yeah, I know. They're winning games. It's just like, Drew, where's the game where you have 480 yards and 7 touchdowns?
Yeah, I know.
It's probably coming. Maybe it's coming in this game.
This could be it.
Saints by 8.
Jameis is 49 passing rate, just so bad. I had you're good. I had a 4.5. It's 7. And you love the Saints on a Tuesday.
I do. I like the Saints. I think their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
Lattimore is good.
He's like the number 1 rated cornerback in the league.
They have guys. They at least have guys who are good now. They have like 3 or 4 guys who are actually competent. Seahawks are home for the Washington Deadskins. This is, just perfect for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
This is nice. They sneak out that Texans game. They're catching this banged up Washington team, and they're going to be 6-2.
This is finally facing an offensive line worse than theirs.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I have the Seahawks by 9.
I didn't go so high. I had 7, and it is 7.
That's too low.
You think so, huh?
Yeah. That's too low. Last one. Last watchable. This is a good one. This could have been a borderline marquee game.
Before we go on to Washington, what Terrell Pryor is another star. And maybe we just overblew his star status, but
maybe
not that like Cousins hates him. He won't even look. He won't look his way. It's like the Raiders of the Lost Light. No, your face is gonna melt if you stare at that thing. We have to find out why he hates him.
Can Washington trade?
He might be a better quarterback than him.
Is that it?
He's just jealous of him.
Is that it? Maybe he's not running the route.
Could Washington trade Kirk Cousins? We keep hearing the same quarterbacks put in these trade rumors.
For this, like this early? Like this trade period?
Yeah, he's going to leave anyway. You're not making the playoffs. Why wouldn't you trade him right now? Who's the most logical? In the NBA, you would totally trade this guy.
I know. But who's excited if he goes to the Niners?
What about Jacksonville?
This week? That would be fun.
Jacksonville's like, no thanks. We have our guy.
Right.
Blake Bortles.
Straight up deal.
Panthers home for the Falcons. I have the Panthers laying 3.5.
We should be more excited about this game, right? I said 3 and it's 2. So
I think the Panthers not.
I get it.
The Panthers kind of not being that good on offense doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I know. Tate, make some sense of it for us.
Tate, explain this to us for 30 seconds.
They're trying to run basically trick plays for Christian McCaffrey. They've been doing it all year.
Percy Harvarditis?
Yes, exactly. And then Kelvin's just not quite there. Funches is supposed to be the guy. He should be the one guy. When it's Dixon and Funches, things go well. When those guys aren't involved, it goes poorly.
Funches nothing stats.
Nothing.
And McCaffrey only gets like 2 or 3 handoffs, right?
Well, did you see that he broke the franchise record for receptions by a running back? We should all be so excited.
Oh, already? Yeah.
They put that out there.
He's basically James White.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what you want with the 8th pick.
Right.
Pretty sure you can get James White later.
If they go back and they draft an offensive lineman 8th and then draft Cohen in the 4th round like the Bears, there may be a better team.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And they'll never admit defeat. But
if you're taking a running back in the top 12 picks, that guy's got to be Fournette.
Has to be.
Because it's just year after year, you get too many running backs, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. But what's hard to get in the top 12 is the left tackle, or the speed rusher, or Deshaun Watson.
What does like a Saquon Barkley go, Tate, in the draft?
Yeah, see, I feel like Barkley is a guy that he can take hit. Yeah, he can run at the middle. Like, they can't run Christian McCaffrey up the middle. He's going nowhere.
Nah.
When the first guy who hits him, he goes down. I was the most shocked by that. I thought he was going to be more physical.
I thought he was going to be tough.
Yeah.
He's like totally content to just fall down and get back up.
I think he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, congratulations on that pick.
But is this even for the division? Like Atlanta, Carolina, you would think, all right, one of these teams is going to be a division winner, but neither is favored to win a division. Saints.
What's funny is Atlanta is dying.
That is funny.
They're dying to go home. They're dying to be 7-9 for the year and just get out of the season.
Right.
And yet they just keep stealing these games, and they're going to be lingering in the wild card hunt. Sunday night. This is an awful game.
I think I beat you again. 3, 5, 7. Or you have to win these next 2.
I'm gonna hit these next 2 exact. Sunday night, Miami, home for the Oakland Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Dolphins by 2.5.
I had the Dolphins by 1.5. Oakland favored by 2.5. I don't know. I mean, when your coach says we have the worst offense in the game.
Who said that?
Gates.
He said that?
Gates, yeah. What is Vegas? How is Vegas supposed to react?
When's the trade deadline? Is it Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tomorrow, right? Yeah.
It would be interesting if they're going to trade Jarvis Landry and basically throw the towel on the season.
Oh, before the Thursday.
I wonder if that would move the line, because having watched Dolphins games, he's the only guy that is even trying to get open. Everybody else just runs straight lines.
Can I ask you how the Dolphins got 3 night games in a row? Like when did the schedule makers look at this?
What happened to Gase?
Dan Marino was gone, right? Like they knew this team was what it was.
What happened to Gase? He was like our favorite new coach last year.
I don't know. I think he screwed up with this Cutler thing, and I even he's scratching his head at a team that can't score. I don't know. Like I like more like he throws long. I like that in like a backup but then there's
a
nothing.
gunslinger.
Ends up being nothing.
Monday night's even worse. Packers home for the Lions.
Yeah, that's bad.
I had the Packers by 4.
I had Green Bay by 1, and it's Detroit by 1.
God, I'm just way off.
Who
with
even
the bad
knows
teams.
with this stuff?
What's good about Detroit?
I don't know. That
Why
line
should they
came
be
out.
favored on the road?
That line was halftime of the night game when I pulled it. But yeah, it is. Yeah, that shouldn't be. I'm not sure. Except that just when you think they're done, they win. That's the only good thing about them.
All right, so to recap.
Wait, do we have a captain of the week?
We do. We're going to do that in a second. To recap, Chiefs Cowboys is a must watch.
Mm-hmm. Carolina,
Atlanta, I'm interested in. Or those? That's really it. It's a good week to go spend some time with your family.
This is it. Your Patriots did it. They took a bye. They took the bye, and Chargers. What kind of spell does Belichick put on these teams? Like Gordon runs free. Like that's it. Deflated the whole crowd. That's great. You're hanging with the Patriots. Then Benjamin takes a punt at the 15 and makes it a safety.
Which
and then
swung
Rivers
the line.
goes back to pass and drops the ball 10 yards behind. And like what happens to these teams?
That swung the line.
Right.
That Benjamin
ended
safety.
up being right. They went by 6 instead of 8.
I've never seen somebody run 13 yards backwards and get a safety on a kick return. It was like even my son wouldn't do that in flag football.
Right. He'll be a Patriot Tuesday. You'll see.
Captain, we love Captain Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
They have a collection of rums that are unparalleled. Mm-hmm. They want everybody to think like a captain, act like a captain. What else do they do with the captain?
You have to drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. You do that.
Yeah.
You can put Captain Morgan with all kinds of things. Mm-hmm. Most famously, Coke. I don't know if they. What else do you put?
Ginger ale. Ginger ale's a big, big captain.
We pick captains. Go take it. Who's your captain?
My captain is Joe Buck.
Okay.
I think the first Ringer article, one of the first 3 Ringer articles, was about Joe Buck, how polarizing he is. I'm going to say this. We've now had Joe Buck for 23, 25 hours over the last 7 days. Doesn't annoy me at all. How many people in your life can you say I spent 25 hours over 6 days and they don't annoy me? Not your wife, not your parents, certainly not your kids, maybe not even me. Not too many people. Joe Buck uses just enough enthusiasm. He measures his excitement, perfectly delivered some classic calls on those home runs. I'm making you my captain, Joe Buck. Good job this week.
That's a great job by you, Sal.
All right, thank you.
You know, I think he's gotten better.
Yeah.
I think in the 0405 range, he scaled it back too much. I talked about it when he was on my pod with him like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
The Summerall influence, I think, influenced him too much. Mm-hmm. And I think I thought he was great. I think him and Smoltz are fantastic.
Really good.
I really think Smoltz and Romo. We were talking. I think I tweeted something about this a couple of days ago about with Smoltz and Romo, arguably the 2 best we've had at those positions for color guys in those sports. And I wish there was an NBA version of it, and there's just not. Steve Kerr was probably the closest, but a player who just played coming out and just being able to offer the kind of insight.
I think they should give Dikembe Mutombo a shot at it. I think people will be impressed. Terrific color guy for basketball.
My captain is DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh yeah.
It's weird. We see this happen with receivers sometimes. We saw it with Fitz. Saw it with Cal Johnson, where the guy's great, but then they have so many bad quarterbacks. Then you start subconsciously thinking maybe the guy's not great.
Yeah.
And we just kind of take it for granted how terrible it is to have a shitty quarterback. And here's this guy who we all knew was awesome, that he was probably him and Julio and Odell were like this next wave of dudes. And then he's just saddled with these shit quarterbacks. And he had to play with Osweiler last year.
Right.
And now it's like Watson has unleashed him. He's fucking awesome. And
I don't think we're supposed to swear during the sponsored segment.
Yeah, it's fine. I swear.
Too much Captain Morgan.
I swore responsibly.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, I think he's the GOAT right now for receivers. Like just right now, this moment, because all these other dudes are out.
All right.
Julio, what's Julio done this year?
Another star that hasn't stepped up.
So who's the best receiver? It's who's the scariest receiver right now? It's Hopkins, right?
Antonio Brown, Hopkins. I'd put them right together.
I think Hopkins scares me.
I'm
more.
with you. I'm with you because I think like we've known 1,000 quarterbacks who have made receivers look good. Remember Aaron Rodgers is known for that. Obviously Brady.
Yeah.
How many receivers make every quarterback look good or
right.
better than they should be?
Antonio Brown's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like you can contain him a little and get him so that it's a 10 catch for 87 yards game. Mm-hmm. Hopkins is just, if he has a quarterback, that dude's petrifying. Wherever he goes, you're like, oh, we got to watch him. And he brings everybody over to his side. I just like the guy.
It's a good captain.
All right. Parents' Corner. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. You have a good one. I could tell you're brewing over there.
No, it's not as you set the bar last week.
Well,
that's okay.
This is not even our friend Brad.
Yeah.
We did a podcast with him. It was my most listened to podcast by a mile. He's a maniac.
Yeah.
He went to
when are we doing another one?
We need to do another one. Yeah. Before he expires. He went to the Navy to avoid a gambling debt. He was in the Navy for 3 years. Yeah. And he's a little jittery. We've gone to SummerSlam.
A little jittery.
We've gone to SummerSlam, and you've seen the fireworks go off, and he's just flying out of his seat.
He jumped out of it, literally jumped out of his seat.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're watching football yesterday, and we're with Corollas, and Archie, my son, is with the Corolla kids, and they have these snaps. And these snaps, you throw the snap, and it just makes a, And they, by accident, set one off, and Brad jumps. And he's like, that is not funny. So that's it. So now for the next 4.5 hours, it just snaps every 8 minutes. When he stops, he's not looking. They throw it, and he's like, and it's hysterical, and it's funnier every time. The next time, but then he's like, starts talking about the war and everything. Like he has like, so I'm like, now this is like a shitty. Like he never heard guns go off, but he hear like these aircraft carriers come in, and it would blow him away. So it's PTSD-ish. So I have to explain to my son that it's not right, and what Brad's been through in his life. I blame the war on drugs also, and not just the other wars, but
a lot of wars.
Yeah, it's a ton of wars going on in his head. So I explained to him, and they just did 3 or 4 more, and that was it. That was it. That's my parents' corner. So to explain, talk to your kids about PTSD because they might not be on board with it.
Wow, poor Brad.
Yeah.
When are we doing another pod with him? I need to hear his Ray Donovan thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that. Does Brad watch Stranger Things?
I don't know if he does. He knocked something out in 8. Oh, did you watch This American Vandal?
No.
I guess this only matters for people who watched it, but our friend Daniel loved the show and then didn't realize it was scripted.
He didn't realize it was a documentary?
And Brad went crazy when he heard this. He went crazy. Doesn't know how anyone can work in television. Maybe it's worth it just to have that. He went bananas.
My parents' corner. I like to push the envelope with movies with my children.
Yeah, that's why I
just figured you can't hide stuff from them because it's only going to make them want it more later.
Right.
And I like my kids to have a sense of humor. So Friday night, we rented Girls Trip. Not my son wasn't there. He was out. It was just me, my wife, and my daughter. Mm-hmm. And I knew about the pee scene. There's a zipline pee scene when Jada Pinkett, whose face does not move during the entire movie, just for the record. A lot of I don't know what's going on with her, but her face does not move.
Interesting.
But does the zip line and she pees all over. It's the hardest my daughter's ever laughed in a movie. They're just dying laughing. So I knew about that. I knew it was a little raunchy. There's a scene when Tiffany Haddish, who you've had on her show, who's hilarious, who's like almost like the female Tracy Morgan.
Right.
They're all at a table and she starts talking about giving blowjobs.
Jesus.
Using a watermelon. And she takes this watermelon slice and a banana and puts the banana through the watermelon. And she's like, you got to get all slurpy. And she starts like blowing the banana with the watermelon.
Told the story on our show. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Jesus Christ.
I'm grabbing the remote.
I'm already uncomfortable.
I'm trying to grab the remote, but like the dog had knocked it over, and my wife's yelling at me like I knew this was happening, and my daughter's laughing, but doesn't. We're not positive she understood what was going on,
oh, no.
But I think she did, or she might have been playing dumb.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the remote in time, and we all got to watch Tiffany Haddish give a blowjob with a watermelon, I just you just kind of move on. It's like a trauma. You just move on. You pretend it didn't happen.
Hey, tell me if you think this is what happens. I think Sunday night, after all the games are done, Simmons is setting up this podcast, trying to figure out if a game's in London or not. And then he's like, forget it. This is too confusing. What do I have for parent? He's like, oh, shit, I have nothing for Parent Corner. Let's rent Boogie Nights. Like, I really think you ask for trouble with these things.
She, just for the record, she said it was her favorite movie of all time.
Of course.
She's never loved the movie more.
Wow.
I actually obviously have known her whole life. I've never seen her laugh harder than the zipline thing. Like she was like keeled over, just dying.
Yeah.
And
that's when you turn the movie
I don't know.
off.
I think, take away the banana watermelon blowjob scene and it might not have been that bad. I mean, there's some other completely inappropriate things.
That's your movie review. Take away the
I was on a text thread on Saturday with Fantasy and Wesley Morris and Amanda Dobbins and Juliet about it, whether it was the right move. And Amanda and Juliet made the case. It's a movie about female bonding and friendship, and there are important lessons to be made, and they were okay with it. She
definitely knew what was going on there. She was sparing your feelings, and she was trying not to kill you. By like,
it's so over the top. It's like I can't even describe how over the top it is. I'm sure a lot of people have seen Girls Trip.
Oh man!
Anyway,
good job.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Nice.
So that's that edition of Parents Corner. What do you got to plug?
Jimmy Kimmel Live, big week. Shaquille O'Neal, Jennifer Lawrence, Dave Grohl, Channing Tatum against all odds this week. I'll have the degenerate trifecta. They'll have their best bets. And I'll have a real live bookie. 35 years he was a bookie in Brooklyn. I met him in Brooklyn. I was like, I love this guy. I want to talk to him. We're at the halfway point. I think psychologically he can give gamblers tips on what maybe not to do since he made money over the
Parlays
years.
and teasers.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that'll be in there.
What was the live betting situation of that World Series game last night?
The Dodgers were... I didn't catch the earlier innings when the Dodgers were up 3 and the Astros were down 3, but the Dodgers, you could have got them at 12-1. They were down 3 going into the ninth.
12-1.
And still would have lost, but
Jesus.
yeah.
Thanks to Sonos One blends great sound with Amazon Alexa for hands-free control of your music and more. Use your voice to play your songs, manage your smart devices, all using a single Sonos speaker. For a limited time, Sonos offering the listeners of the Bill Simmons podcast 10% off one order of $2,500 or less for any product on Sonos.com. Use the promo code Simmons10, that is Simmons10 at Sonos.com to receive this offer. Thanks to Bluehost for bloggers and small business owners. Bluehost has everything you need to build, host, and manage the personal or small business website you've always wanted. Simple enough for beginners, powerful enough for even the most advanced users. Bluehost gives you the freedom to design your website your way without being limited by templates. Our listeners save 50% when you sign up at bluehost.com/Bill Simmons. Don't forget to check out The Ringer this week. A lot of basketball stuff, a lot of football stuff. Stranger Things. You watch Stranger Things?
I watched the first episode. I don't know how are you watching these? You're doing 2
I think
at once?
Netflix screwed up. I don't think they should have released them all at once.
Really?
I actually think it was a real mistake. I think they should have done 3
Interesting.
and let people watch them and digest them, figure out where it's
That's
going.
what's something you should watch with your kid. Do you watch that with?
Oh,
you
my
do?
kids love
Okay. All right,
yeah,
good.
it was the day it came out. They were banging it out.
Yeah.
But I think they made a real mistake with that. I'm all for the binge watch when it's like a show like Bloodline. Like, who cares? But like for this,
Yeah, this is.
you want to
bubble
capture
gum.
the cultural interest in it, I think. Release 3, release 2, then save the season finale and build it for 4 weeks. Because what's going to happen now is it's going to come and go in 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah, like I watched the Halloween episode this week, and then I figure I'll do 2 a week the rest of the way. But yeah, it's hard to gauge.
Shout out to Michael Myers. 39 years ago tomorrow, he came home.
Really?
Yeah.
39.
1978, yeah.
Oh,
Heading
man.
toward his 40th anniversary.
Oh, for God's sakes.
We'll never figure out how he was able to drive a car.
Oh,
He escapes the insane asylum, hops right in the car, and drives away.
can he give a
Had been
banana
in an insane
blowjob and a
asylum since
watermelon?
age 6. That's going to be in the remake. Cousin Sal, good job.
Good job by you, Billy.